Hey, welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. Currently talking to Corey Taylor, lead singer for Slipknot since 1997. Got a book out called A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to Heaven, or How I Made Peace with Paranormal and Stigmatized Zealots and Cynics in the process. I'm sorry. Yeah. There it is. Cool cover. Cool back cover.
It looks like a Wild West wanted poster.
Absolutely.
Yeah, totally. It looks kind of cool.
The cool thing about the outfit that I'm wearing is it's the actual outfit that the guy who played John Wilkes Booth in the Lincoln movie wore.
Oh, no kidding.
We were able to get that.
You guys are the same size.
Yeah, exactly. Which is very weird because I'm short. You know, I'm not a tall dude.
Are you fascinated with that era in time or something? Or?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of my favorite times. I'm a big history buff anyway.
Right.
So,
I love it too.
Yeah, I love, especially that era because it was really what set the stage for modern America.
America,
sure.
yeah.
Exactly.
America became America.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Well, so we're talking about your career, Slipknot, a little bit. So let's go into now your fascination, but your experience with the paranormal.
Yeah.
You claim to have had visits from ghosts for a long time. When's the first time you had an experience with a ghost?
The first time I remember anything was I was about 10 years old, and some friends of mine, we snuck out of the apartment complex that we were living in, and we went to this abandoned house that was actually on the way to school that we all took every day. And we'd been threatening each other to do it, like for a long time. It's just like, you go in, no, you go in. Like, I mean, it was gnarly. We called it Cold House. And it was like seriously, if a shark were a house, this place would have looked like a shark. Like, I mean, it was gnarly.
Wow. Scary as hell.
So we snuck out at like midnight, you know, which tells you what year it was. Because like in '82, this was the only time 10-year-olds snuck across. Yeah. So we snuck over there, you know, and long story short, all of this stuff started happening to us. Like all of the batteries in our flashlights died, just like that.
Oh
we're trying to find a way to kind of see what's going on. And all of a sudden, from the second floor of this place, this thing started coming down the stairs at us. And I mean, you've never seen 5 kids tear ass quicker in your life. Like, I mean, broke the door down. My leg actually went through the front porch, the wood in the front porch. And I've still got a scar right on my shin from where it happened.
Now, what the other kids you were with that day? Do they still experience it?
Some of them denied it right from the get-go.
Well, why'd they run then?
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah. I mean, it was one of those things where it was almost like even at 10, I could see that this was something very divisive.
Oh God, yeah.
And the next day, we were all talking about it, and you know, some people wouldn't even want to talk about it. Other people didn't even want to come down and talk about it. But then me and my other friends were like, well, let's go back. Let's go check this out because we're crazy.
They didn't kill us.
We went back and we went upstairs, and the front door that we
you're
had
more
actually tore
ballsy
off.
than I'll ever be.
Yeah,
I'm like, no way.
So what happened? You went upstairs and what happened?
We went upstairs, and the front door that we had torn off in our haste was actually on the second floor. And like we didn't move it. You know?
Well, I mean that could be explained. Somebody could have moved it, I know, but I mean, still.
Yeah.
So you actually saw something, though.
Yeah.
You saw something. What did it look like?
It looked like the silhouette of a man. You know, like it
Patrick
was a silhouette of a
Swayze?
man. But no, it was like tall. Well, see, the mullet would have just been awesome. Could you imagine that? You know, his name is Dalton, and he's floating towards me.
Right.
I don't know what the hell is going on here.
So I mean, so from there on in, you're a believer, and you know, and so what happens next? Like what time in your life?
You know, I mean, the thing is, I mean, I just kept having all these things happen to me.
You'd move from place to place in your life, and a ghost would sort of
certain things would happen. I mean, not every place that I lived, but like a lot of the places I worked, like the mansion that we recorded Volume 3 in. Very gnarly. I mean, like to the point where some people didn't even want to live there anymore. Like it was crazy stuff. I mean,
like, describe
things.
that.
Yeah, like what would you?
Things
specific?
screaming in our face while we sleep, and you wake up and there's nothing there. I had the blankets yanked off me. I was. I'll give you a perfect example. Me and Clown were sharing these 2 rooms that were kind of connected, and we were all the way at the end of the mansion, right? Clown was out of town. I basically
By the
had
way,
the 2 rooms.
there's your next album title. Clown was out of town.
Yeah. Write it down. Somebody get that down. I need
Slipknot. Clown was out of town. Yeah.
But so I'm taking a shower, right? And like dudes do.
Right.
If nobody's around, you got the bathroom door open. You don't care, you know.
Swinging.
I'm singing Bee Gees because I don't care. I love the Bee Gees. Don't judge me.
That makes it better.
Exactly.
A ghost walks in and you're going,
recording this gnarly Slipknot album, and I'm
Shadow
singing,
dancing.
I'm singing,
by the way,
you know, you should be dancing, you know. And but I had the door of the bathroom open. the door to our rooms was closed and locked from the inside. There was no way to get in this room.
Right.
I just happened to turn, and a dude wearing a tuxedo walked through the door and into the room.
With a tuxedo.
Yeah, I mean, it was
When
really
you say a
nice.
dude, like
Formal.
how
It was a
about how
formal.
old? Like how
He
many
was a younger
details can
guy.
you give
Like,
about?
it was probably, I would have put him in his 30s.
30s.
Yeah,
White guy.
yeah.
Tan, not a tan.
Reddish hair.
Reddish
Come
hair.
on, you
So
can
you're
see
that
what I got. I
specific.
mean, that's- yeah.
You can be that specific.
Yeah,
about it.
exactly. I mean, dude, I can see it.
Did he
like,
say
like I saw
anything?
it to this day. No, he walked past the door, which I knew he had to walk through the door because that door was closed.
Oh, my
Because the
God.
door to the hallway was like this. The door to the bathroom was like this. So it was
Right.
almost like an L shape,
Right.
right? So he would have had to walk through the door and past that door like that. So I jump out. And I'm like, what the hell? And I run in, nothing there.
Nothing there. Okay,
Nothing
so
there.
let me ask you this: do you think your disposition
Tuxedo.
of welcoming them or being open-minded to them, do you think
Maybe.
that brings more of them towards you? Do you know what I
Maybe. I
mean?
mean-
Like, this guy's all right; he can handle us. Let's go mess with him for a little bit.
The
Or?
thing I do in the book is I try to come at it from a fairly scientific kind of disposition because all of the answers that, whether it's religious or these ghost hunting shows, all of the answers that are available I've not been happy with. You know, like nothing's
It does,
ever,
but listen,
it's
if you
never
see
been
a guy-
satisfying.
No, I
Satisfying.
wouldn't me either, because from what I've seen where people try to, if I had that experience where it's
Yeah.
so specific,
Yeah.
where it's a guy right next to you in a tuxedo, reddish hair, white guy, normal, you know, you got
That's
all these
specific.
specifics
You'd
about a guy.
freak out, right?
Hell
I mean, it's
yeah.
gnarly.
Yeah, it's and none of the people you live with came back and said, listen, my uncle was late for a
Yeah,
wedding,
right, so
and he might have been.
He just needed to crash
Yeah,
for like
yeah,
20
yeah, yeah,
minutes.
he came back-
You know, sleep off. You had a few mini martinis.
Well, listen, we're gonna take another break and get back into this when we come back with Corey Taylor from Slipknot. Welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. Talking with Corey Taylor from Slipknot. Also wrote a book about his experiences with the paranormal, and you mentioned you work with the great Rick Rubin.
Yes.
I had a story about him. You know, he turned out to be a fan of mine, which is a real honor.
Yeah.
Like I put out a couple of stand-up DVDs and CDs, and he listened to Howard, and he was a fan, and he like I was in Vegas doing a show, and he kind of like summoned me to his house. And come, and that's one of the few guys where you
Yes.
go, okay. And I went and we talked for like 2 hours in his backyard in Malibu, overlooking the ocean, about a bunch of things. Just laughed and everything, and there was an outside chance. He said that maybe he wanted to maybe take a look and produce my next comedy record. And of course, instead of that, I did a bunch of heroin and stabbed myself. So, I was gone for 2 years.
Can I just say that was a bad decision?
That didn't work out. I think Rick told me. I think Rick told me not to do that.
Rick might have done the same.
That might have been in the production notes.
you know, but,
let's steer away from that.
When you're at the level you guys are at, when a guy like Rick Rubin wants to work with you, don't you feel it's an honor in a sense, no matter how it goes when you work
Yeah.
with him, that you have something unique going on because he's an original. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
he started something original, and you
I agree.
guys. I mean, you should take that as an honor. I mean, you got the book thing, you got this other stuff going on. Like, how long do you want to go with Slipknot? Like, how long do you want to do this?
I'm going to
thing?
take it as long as it will. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, the thing is, and we kind of all made this pact to ourselves that as long as we still had a notion for what we wanted to do as a band, not what anybody else wanted us to do, but
Right.
what we wanted to do. As long as we had that kind of inkling, we would continue to do it. You
Right.
know, no matter what, you know, kind of physical destruction happens to our knees and our backs and our
Because you put out a
retinas.
hardcore
guys
show.
go hard,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, I mean, there's not one guy in the band who hasn't broken something.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
or
hard to
has
do.
some kind of weird
Especially with
physical.
you gotta
ailments.
sing.
Yeah. Oh,
you gotta
dude,
sing. You gotta
it's
be. You
insane.
can't be out of breath. You gotta sing.
I-
Like what Mick Jagger still does to this day. How does he belt out "Give Me Shelter" after jumping around for 2 hours?
Because he's just made of elastic.
I guess
I
so,
am
right,
convinced that man is like half a racer. You know, because he gets this thing going on. And
Yeah.
you know, and the duck lips.
And you gotta be in
He's
breath.
the OG duck lips. We all know this. You know, I mean, he's great.
And Keith is next to him like barely moving.
Totally. Yeah.
I swear, I don't think Keith Richards hits his guitar anymore. I think it's all Ronnie Wood and somebody, because he makes the same sound. Like they'll play Start Me Up, the same thing comes out, but he's not like,
Right. But it's the way he doesn't play
it's
it.
cool.
I mean, come
cool
on.
as hell. Cool as hell. So now, when's the last time you had an experience with the paranormal? When's the last ghost you had?
Like I said, I mean, I've got stuff. I've got spirits in the house that I live in now.
Right now.
Yeah.
So who else is living? You got your family.
I got my
You got
family.
your 11-year-old son.
Yeah, we got an 11-year-old son, my wife, and I.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's 3
And ghosts.
Yeah.
non-ghosts.
And yeah.
Do you know how many on record? Do you know how
3.
many?
There's
Now, how do you
know
tell the
for
difference?
sure 3.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because you can tell the difference by looking at
I've
them.
seen them run through my room.
What do they look
All
like?
3 at the same time.
All 3 at the same
Oh,
time.
lovely.
What do they look like?
They are dressed in. The only thing I can say is like almost like period clothing.
Right.
Like they're dressed like they're going to Sunday school.
From
Can you
this
imagine
era,
that?
the 1840s, 50s,
No,
kind
I
of
don't
thing?
think it's, I
Buttoned
don't
up
think
and
it's that
things like
early. I
that?
think it's early 1900s because I think they followed me from the old house that I used to have, which was built in 1905. So
Right.
it was an old house. It was like over 100 years old
You
by
think-
the time I even got
You
to
think it'd be
it.
a hot chick, a modern hot chick?
No,
Are
I
they,
get stuck with kids.
are they naked?
No, they're dressed like I said. I mean, the boy has like these patent leather shoes on, and I can see him, and you can hear him on the hardwood because I got hardwood floors all over.
I've
my
gotta
house.
ask, have you-
And they'll come stomping up behind me. I turn around and nothing, and I start screaming like I don't even care.
Have you
It's
ever
like, knock it off?
interacted with him? Like I told you about the
You ever
story
try
about
to start a
mine.
conversation with
They'll
them?
interact with us, but when we kind of like yell at
Respond,
them,
right.
they knock it off right away.
Okay,
but then
so
they
they-
get me back in little
they're
ways. Like
obedient.
they take all the books in my son's room and stack them in the middle of the room.
Do they ever like mess stuff up?
They knock my DVDs off the
That
shelves
would
all
aggravate.
the time.
That would aggravate the hell out of me.
And here's the thing: it's the one thing I'm OCD about is alphabetizing
Orderly, yeah.
and organizing my DVDs. You know.
Do you have anybody else in the band that just thinks you're crazy? Go, you're nuts, Corey. What do you
Well,
think?
I'm sure they think I'm crazy for various
But still,
reasons.
this is something where you go, you're nuts.
But no, because I mean, the thing is that the stuff at the mansion really kind of because everybody else experienced it as well. There was stuff going on in every corner of that place,
Right.
and it was
And all of
gnarly.
them are in this book, right?
Yeah,
so
there's
a lot of these
there's a whole
stories. in
chapter
it,
about the mansion
so
in that
make sure
book,
you go
so.
out and get this book.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, thanks for coming by.
Thanks for
Corey.
having me, man.
Come back anytime, man.
Oh, absolutely, man.
I'm a
I'd love
fan,
to.
and
great.
congrats
Oh, no
on
worries, man. Thank you.
congrats
Spooky.
on all the stuff like getting clean. I love stories like
You
that.
too, man.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
thank you. And
good luck with everything.
the name of the book, Corey Taylor, A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to Heaven, or How I Made Peace with the Paranormal and Stigmatized Zealots and Cynics in the Process. There it is right there. Go check it out. And Slipknot, look for new album from you
Next
guys,
year.
right?
Next year. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Corey Taylor, thanks.
Thank you.
We'll be back with Jeff Garland. Gotta love him. Chicago guy. Hawks. The Artie Lange Show.